Welcome to Expat Knuckleheads, the show for and with expats from around the world. Coming to you live from the world-famous Epizentrum in the idyllic city of Magdeburg, Germany. And now your knucklehead host, Jonathan Failla. Expat Knuckleheads.
Yeah, folks, welcome. You're here live in the Café Central in Magdeburg, Germany. You're welcome to our first show of Expat Knuckleheads, the video version. Okay, everyone, how are you all holding up? How are you doing in the time of COVID-19? Isolating? Got a nice mask? How about those gloves? You wearing the gloves? I hope you're squirting on those wagons at the supermarket before you go in and buy stuff. Yeah, so this time, I mean, what else could we talk about in our first show but the coronavirus, of course, and its effect. So first thing I want to do is explain a little bit. This is called Expat Knuckleheads because we're expats. What is an expat? It's an expatriate, someone who lives in another country. That means the country we live in, they might be speaking a different language than we do. They might have a completely different culture than we have, and we're living in that society. So those are our concerns. Right now, I'm here in Magdeburg, Germany, and we're in lockdown, but not for long, right? Starting on Monday, a lot of businesses are opening that are considered less than essential. We'll see how that goes. I've been isolated for about 4 weeks. I'm kind of lonely. First thing I did was I did my whole garden. I built a raised bed. I fixed my other raised bed. I built three raised beds. I painted the whole house. And but now I'm going a little bit stir crazy. I need my friends. I need a little bit of contact with human beings. So I'm going to go to one of my buddies, my friend Friedhelm Ruhlstack from the band Juckreiz. This guy is world famous in Magdeburg. Okay, so we're going to get to my buddy Friedhelm. Friedhelm, are you on the line? Are you there, buddy? Friedhelm, talk to me.
John.
Hi, how you doing, bud?
Yes, okay. I love it to hear you.
I love to hear you too.
Interview that just came up
In the
from
Czech
Germany. I put
Republic.
myself on mute and I'm joining the call right now.
Yeah, and we just heard Gina Belafonte there from psychofa.org.
Yes,
So, it's all right, Gina. We're going to Friedhelm right now.
I'm here. I have just an emergency call. And
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay, see you in a bit. Come right back. Yeah, we go. So Friedhelm, talk to me, buddy. How is your isolation?
Oh, I'm very lazy.
Really?
This time now here in Corona, it's not the best time in my life here.
Are
But
you-
I'm happy.
Are you creative? Are you making lots of music?
Oh no, creation is not my best time for me. I'm laying on my sofa,
Yeah.
couch.
Yeah.
And I'm looking TV. I see the Lord of the Rings, all parts, 3 parts in the extended versions from Peter Jackson. It's if I see all parts, I think the Corona crisis it's over.
Oh.
Oh, hope it. And the other time, I think I take a little bit from this vodka, or I can show you Corona beer.
Okay, very good. Yes.
Yes, and it makes me happy.
That's good, Friedhelm. I wanted to ask you if you have disinfectant there, but it looks like with the vodka, you have some very good disinfectant. Desinfektionsmittel you have there. Yeah? The vodka is a good...
Disinfection is this vodka. I
So-
think it's enough for me. And
Nice.
when I stay home. I don't only go on the supermarket.
Yeah.
Only it's enough.
That's all. Just going to the supermarket. Yeah, well, they do in Germany in the supermarkets. There is vodka, so it's a good place to go. And so, are you making any music now?
Yes, I live together with the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And my guitar, my bass guitar, and I play my bass guitar. If I very sad, I take my bass guitar and play my love songs. Perhaps my vodka song.
Oh, your vodka song, Friedhelm.
Yes, I
would
have
you
a vodka song.
Would you play the vodka song for us now?
I can play it. I can play it, but I have a little too much drink of my Corona beer.
Yes.
But
Did you get electrocuted? Yeah.
would you like to hear this?
Yeah. Play us the vodka song. What's it called? What's the name of the song?
What's the
What's
the name? Vodka Lied. Vodka song.
So it's called the vodka song. Okay.
Vodka Loud.
I love the vodka song. And in English, I would say the name is Who Stole My Bottle of Vodka? Yeah? So Friedhelm Ruschak from the band Juckreiz is going to sing his famous song, Who Stole My Bottle of Vodka? Okay, Friedhelm, we're listening. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. The song has a long overture.
Achtung. Wo ist wer hat den Wodka versteckt? Sag wo ist er? Wer hat ihn verschwunden? Väterchen, hast du ihn getrunken? Wo ist er? Wer hat den Wodka ausgesoffen?
Oh, Friedhelm, that's
Thank you.
Friedhelm. Thank you so much, buddy. That was beautiful. Yeah? So when we get out of isolation, we'll get together and we'll have a nice vodka. And then we'll drink the whole bottle, and then other people will ask, who stole my bottle of vodka?
I wish you a nice time.
Thank you,
today.
buddy.
Tonight.
See you soon, Freedom. Freedom Ruschak from Juckreiz. Applause around the world. Yeah, that's right. That's my buddy.
Oh, okay, I can hear the word.
Okay, see you soon. Thank you. Ciao. Okay,
Ciao.
that was Freedom Ruschak from Juckreiz here in Magdeburg, world famous in Magdeburg. And so we're just going to move on to my next guest. You know, we're all dealing with COVID-19 all around the world. I might be in Magdeburg, but as an expatriate American living in Germany, I have lots of friends in America who are dealing with the coronavirus. First person I'd like to introduce you to in America is my friend Gina Belafonte. Gina Belafonte is the executive director of Sankofa.org. They're doing lots of good things all around the world for people who are less fortunate and don't have the power and the influence. And they're using the influence of celebrities and famous people and the power that brings to bring change to the world. So Gina, thank you for being here with us. How you doing? Gina, are you there? Oh, Gina's saving the world. Okay, that's no problem. Yeah, exactly. So in that case, what I want to do is I want to go to somebody else in America. We'll come back to Gina. But I'd like to go to visit someone in my family because we expats, and especially in lockdown, we're missing our family. So I want to go to my nephew, Matt Failla. Matt Failla is a designer at Harley Davidson in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we're going to talk to Matt. Matt, how are you, buddy? Are you there? Matt's not there either, huh? All right. Well, we'll come back to Matt. Then you know what? I know that Matt's dad is here on the line. We're going to talk to Dr. Joe right now, Dr. Joe Failla. He is an orthopedic surgeon specializing in hand surgery in Michigan. That's in Detroit. Joe, are you there?
Right here, John, babe. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. How you doing? Oh,
Doing good.
Are you drinking a German beer?
I'm drinking, I wish it was a German beer, but it's a Michigan beer.
It's a Michigan
It's
beer.
a barrel's too hard, but I'm drinking it in your Berlin mug you gave me.
Okay, very good. Yes, everything
You
tastes...
can read it.
I saw it before. Now it's too close. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better in the Berlin mug. Very good. So,
Yeah.
Joey, I know you're an epidemiologist or anything like that. Oh, there we got Matt's in the show here. You know what? Joey, I'm going to get right back to you. I'm going to talk to Matt for a minute, okay? Right
ahead.
now we're talking to Matt Failla. Matt Failla is a designer at Harley Davidson, the iconic Harley
Hey,
Davidson.
what's up, man?
Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You're looking good. How are things going there in Milwaukee?
Well, it's a beautiful day today, sunny and 60, and sky's blue, so I can't really complain too much about that. I don't know. Not much has changed for me other than the fact that I work from home now every day. So
Yeah. Oh, how is
that's a
that for
little
you?
different, but-
Are you enjoying working from home?
Yeah, for the most part, I found a lot less distractions. Everything's a lot more efficient. You know, if I need to go get something to eat, I just go to my kitchen. If I need to go to the bathroom, it's right there.
You sound
I
bored out
work
of your
a lot.
mind at this point, like you've been in the cabin for a while.
Yeah, it's cabin life. You know, you got to make the best of every room in the house. So
Yeah, but
no, I'm lucky.
you're one of the lucky ones because you can actually work from home, isn't that right?
Yeah, for the most part. I'm set up digitally at home with like a screen that I can draw on with a stylus.
Yeah.
So pretty much, you know, I can use this thing, but the only thing that I'm missing is being able to sculpt clay and develop the shapes on the motorcycle. Like
Right.
with my hands, I'm forced to use a computer, and we can't look at things together and judge different designs based on what they look like,
Dude.
to the naked eye.
You need a big lump of clay at home. Maybe.
Yeah, it's smelly stuff, man. It brings back memories from college when I smell that stuff.
Well, maybe they can bring you over like 100 kilos of it, and then you can make a motorcycle out of it, and and then show it to people. Or is it just easier
Yeah,
on
we'll
the
see.
computer? I guess. So
I'm using a computer and 3D modeling a lot of stuff, and then we'll print it, 3D print it off-site, and then eventually we'll get together and look at stuff. But
nice. Okay.
for now, we're fully digital.
So when are you going back to the company to work there? Are you still in lockdown right now? It's going to be that way for a while?
So we're still in lockdown. I don't know an exact date when I'm going to go back to work. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice for me to work at home. So for now, it's safe to do that, and until they tell me otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I if you were to ask me when I think it probably could happen, it's probably sometime midsummer, I would say.
Midsummer.
June or
Okay.
July.
So lockdown is definitely still in effect in Wisconsin for right now. How is it when you look out
Yeah,
when you look out your windows? Like, are there people on the streets? Are there any businesses open, or are people observing social distancing when you see them?
For the most part, I live in downtown Milwaukee, so there's obviously a lot of people dog walking and running and
Right.
going to get takeout food. I mean, the stores are pretty much stocked all the time now. Other than seeing people in the mask, it's not much different, honestly. I miss going out to the bars and the restaurants. That's a really fun thing about Milwaukee. So,
Right.
especially people in Wisconsin like to get together and drink. So when you take that away from them, they're pretty sad.
Nice. So you're looking forward to having your social life back, right?
Yeah. I've found actually, I've become more social just with the friends that don't live in Milwaukee. I've kind of gotten a chance to have some downtime to catch up with everybody, so that's been good. But the thing I miss most is like hopping on my bike and meeting my friends down at the bar and hanging out and going to a couple more places. And Milwaukee is known for that, especially this time of year. So it's tough for people like me that are motorcycle enthusiasts and social people.
So, dude, you work at Harley Davidson. How cool is that? It's a dream job. Have you been able to test some of the wares? Have you been able to ride a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I own some bikes myself. I have 2 Harleys and a Buell. So
Nice.
I ride my own bikes a lot. I mean, I've got one of them out of storage right now from the winter storage. I've ridden several bikes at work just to test things, but
Did you test an electric one? Have you tried the electric one?
I have. I've ridden our electric live wire bike a couple of times. It's a lot of fun.
I saw like a video about the live wire. That thing makes such an awesome sound. It sounds like a jet engine. I love it. They did it brilliantly, making the sound. It sounds a little bit like it's a regular engine. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. It also has a feature in like most motorcycles, when you turn them on, it's pretty obvious that it's on because most of them are pretty loud and you can smell the gas. But once this thing is on, it's like pressing a computer on you. How do you know that it's running? So there's actually a feature that while you're sitting on the bike, when it's activated, you can feel sort of a heartbeat that tells you that the bike is on. So you don't grab the throttle and go really fast when you're not expecting it. But no, I mean, it's a different experience. It's kind of a zen almost. You pay attention to the environment around you more than the way the bike sounds.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing things that I never noticed before on a ride, like the sound of birds or, the way the wind sounds against the trees. Everything other than the bike is amplified. So it's kind of nice.
So it's kind of an enrichment, being able to hear your surroundings. Yeah.
Yeah. And just the way that it feels to ride is satisfying. I mean, it's very powerful, and you get your power all the way through. The power band is from 0 RPM. So
yeah,
I mean, as soon as you go, you're getting 100% of that potential from low speeds. So
awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
Okay, dude. It was good talking to you. I'm gonna move on.
Too, man.
You know what? Have you talked to your dad in a while?
Yeah, I think a couple days ago.
Well, we're going to talk to him right now. Dr. Joe, you on the line?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
There, say hi to Matt.
Hey, man, how you doing, buddy?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, Matt's very faithful. He always checks in.
Oh,
So
very good.
We love talking, catching up.
All right, cool. So how you holding in there? How you holding up, Joe?
I'm holding up very well. I mean, I haven't really worked since mid-March, which for me is a really different feeling. It's slowing down totally, going from 1,000,000 miles an hour to just totally flat on my back.
Right.
But I'm loving it. It really taught me that I haven't done that for any length of time, and relaxing like this and unplugging my brain.
Right.
I think I'm ready to do that for good. I thought I would go crazy, but I'm not. I'm enjoying it like so much.
Well, you're my big brother. You're closer to retirement than I am. But what I noticed in this last month is I'm ready for retirement too. All I want to do is hang out in my garden and just have a great time. And so you're in Detroit, and that's like one of the epicenters of the COVID-19 outbreak, isn't it? I mean, how does that manifest itself in your life when you see people on the street? Are they social distancing? Are people wearing masks? Has society changed there in Detroit?
Well, yeah, everybody's all masked up, going to the supermarket, things like that. The way it really affects me is that you never know who's positive. You have to assume everybody is. So, I still have to see people in the office. I go in about 1 or 2 days a week for a limited session.
Right.
And the problem is you have to constantly get geared up, mask, cover, the gown, the head cover, the facial screen. Because if you don't, I'm 63. I have asthma, so I'm at risk. So if I get it, I think I'm going to get it big time. So it scares the heck out of me.
Right.
So I guess that's the big way it affects me is I still have to go in and see people.
Oh yeah.
And I worry about the risk.
Me too. I'm scared. I am totally scared of it. But we're gonna have to see how this plays out. How's the curve flattening where you are?
Well, it was the worst it was about 10 days ago, and now it's pretty flat, going down a little bit. I get my information from Andrew, and he's an intern, medical intern, so he is right there on the front lines, admitting the COVID patients every day.
Right.
And he said it's getting a little bit better. The thing he noticed is that the wards used to be filled with people with regular problems, heart disease, high blood pressure, kidney disease, whatever, accident. But those people aren't coming in. It's all filled with COVID patients. So he's really wondering, where the heck are those people going? And are they foregoing care or just, trying to tough it out at home?
Right.
So, but he says now they're coming back. There's more room for those patients. So it might be getting better, but the problem is it could be just an illusion, because you got to look at a whole trend. You have to look at like weeks or months as opposed to just a day or two. And until we get a vaccine, I think we're all going to be worried.
Well, recently we heard Dr. Anthony Fauci say that there's a new treatment, remdesivir. Have you heard of remdesivir before Dr. Fauci mentioned that?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it's a drug that they tried on Ebola.
Yeah.
And, it didn't really work too well, so they kept it on the shelf and available for future trials. But the one study I saw was that if you're really sick and you're on a ventilator in the ICU, and you recover, it'll shorten your illness from 15 days to 11 days.
Right.
Now that's pretty significant because, imagine 4 less days in the ICU. I was just at the hospital today doing surgery, and I talked to one of the guys who's on what's called the turn team. I hadn't even thought of that. What happens is they have to turn patients onto their stomach for several hours.
Right.
And then onto their back for several hours. So it takes a team of 4 guys to turn the patient over, and they have to take turns. So it's his turn to do the turn team for a day or two, and they do it all day and all night. So it's like, just think of those small little tasks that you wouldn't imagine have to be done. There's so much. So if you can shorten that by 4 days, pretty significant. But even that study is just a preliminary. So
okay.
I don't think it's a miracle cure.
Joe, I'm going to get back to you. I want to get Gina on because she has to go somewhere. I want to get her on before the show, before she has to leave. So stay where you are because I have a special guest for you. That I have a surprise for you. You're going to freak out when you see who we're going to have on next. But first, we're going to be talking to Gina Belafonte. As I said, Gina is the executive director of Sankofa.org. They're doing a lot of great things. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I was far more prepared to participate fully and not be distracted about an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. It's actually, in some cases, been a very interesting time because I've been busier in some ways than ever before. Sankofa.org, which we founded about 7 years ago, has been doing quite a lot during this COVID experience.
Yeah.
We've been facilitating 2 guided meditations a day for the community. We have a lot of actually friends from all over the world that join us. We do them at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. PST time, like Los Angeles time. And so we've been very busy with that. And then with this sort of newfound way of communicating on Zoom and on Facebook Live and Instagram. It's just been sort of like an ongoing, an ongoing request or an ongoing opportunity, to engage community and to engage folks and to inform folks. And then also there is what's always been going on, the stuff that we've been working on around social justice issues that still continues, even though COVID has happened.
Right.
There's still voter suppression, if not more. There's still communities of color that are in desperate need of employment, if not more. So
absolutely.
The work sort of never stops.
Right.
So I've been really, really quite busy. But I heard you talking about your garden and what you did when you first started. And I, have been traveling in some cases for since 2004. And so now I find myself in this sort of quarantine experience, and I'm able to actually pay more attention to my garden, the little garden that I have in my little corner of Los Angeles, and just making and creating spaces where I can find some stillness and some calm, and to really connect myself and go deeper with my own consciousness, and listening more deeply to my intuition, and also making sure that I am staying on top of my emotional literacy and my mental health, and of course taking all the physical precautions. And it was interesting because I have a daughter. She's 23, and she lives in an apartment separate from me. And so when this first hit, I hadn't seen her for a very long time. And then we decided one day that she had quarantined long enough, and that we had quarantined long enough. And I finally got to see her. And she came over, and, I had to hug her. I just couldn't help myself. I just had to
it's
wrap
hard.
my arms around her. I didn't want to let her go. She was like, all right, enough. I was like, no, I can't get enough. I can't get enough.
Yeah, I've been doing air hugs with Vera. What are you gonna do? Yeah, for Gina, the thing about you is, of all my friends, in America, you're the closest one to an expat, because you travel around the world. You're bringing social activism and awareness of it around the world. And you're a person who's always on the move, the way I know. You're always traveling. You're working very much in large crowds. You're pressing hands. Do you miss that? Gina. Oops, did we lose Gina? Are you there, babe?
Yeah, I don't miss it yet.
Oh, there you are.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
I don't miss it yet. I did so much of it, and I'm assuming that I will be doing it more again at some point. I certainly have done enough of it to fill my whole entire life.
Wow.
If I never get to do them. But I tell you what I do miss. I miss my friends. I miss the opportunity to come to Germany and be there for work.
Oh yeah.
Because I do love international.
I miss hanging out with you so much.
And then seeing you.
Yeah.
Seeing you and sharing some time with you. And so I have deepened many, many relationships around the world. And so I do miss my friends. I do miss that kind of interaction. But being in the public the way I have been, in that way, I'm happy to take this short respite from it and just work and focus deeply locally, and working with my comrades here on stateside.
Yeah, it's a little bit like an imposed sabbatical. Yeah, but I'm enjoying it like that too. It's a time to refuel. It's a time to get back to the roots. And I'm sure that Sankofa has to react to this time period too. How is Sankofa? First of all, I want to talk about the name Sankofa. It's a beautiful word. It means go back and get it. Am I right?
Yes.
Go back and pick up that thing, that valuable thing that you left behind. Take that valuable thing. It's worth the trip to go back and get it and to retrieve it. And I think you're talking about, people, the value of people when you're talking about retrieve that value so that we recognize each other in that way.
It's about retrieving what we've left behind, as you said, in order to move forward. We can't sort of really move forward in a deep understanding and strategy without knowing what has happened before.
Yeah.
Now, what we do with that knowledge is critical, because we also want to be very clear that all there really is right this moment, right?
Yeah.
The past is an illusion and the future hasn't happened yet. So all there is really right now. But Sankofa, has been during this time actually looking to our youth and seeing how they're doing and finding ways to engage them, because we have a very, very important election coming up this November. I mean, every election is important, right?
Right.
And this one in particular, I think. And so because of this quarantine, we have not been able to do the sort of traditional methods of voter education, voter participation, getting the vote out, getting people educated about the issues. So Sankofa is creating cultural content that will assist in helping us get the vote out. That young people will be designing, young people will be creating, and content that will be uploadable to their phones, so that it will be digestible and that they will be able to understand very quickly. And we work in the cultural mediums, in all cultural mediums. And so we're using the arts still as a tool to educate our young people and on all of our communities.
Nice. Well, Gina, before I let you go, what message do you have for our listeners? Do you have a message? Is there something that we can all do to help with to help with those goals of Sankofa? How can we participate in society?
Certainly. Yes, absolutely. Well, certainly everyone can visit our website, which is www.sankofa.org. So that's sankofa.org. You can follow us on all of our social media, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, wherever you like. We're always posting. And I would also offer to your listeners that there may be things that you've learned about yourself during this time. This time of quarantine and isolation for many of us has offered us an opportunity to see a deeper version of ourselves, whether it's our emotions or whether it's, our frustrations, like what we do or what we hope habits we have. So I'm hopeful that people will transform themselves in some way that is positive. And it's for some people that might look like it's really big deal. And for others, it might be small, very nuanced things. And I'm hopeful that people will always be becoming more conscious of themselves and aware and being able to really transform themselves ongoing, and using this time as an example of ways in which to do that.
Excellent. And my final question is, how is your dad doing in the crisis? Is he okay?
He is. He's 93.
Yeah.
And he was already practicing social distancing because of his age and wanting to be very careful because his immune system is already compromised because of his age.
Right.
I think he does miss certainly the family coming over and having visits, and but he's doing well. Thank you for asking.
Nice. Just for our listeners, you might not know, Gina Belafonte, her father is the iconic legend, Harry Belafonte. There are not too many people you can say iconic and then legend about, but both these words really pertain to this man. As a young man, I knew him, of course, as a singer. Only later, when I got to know Gina and met Mr. Belafonte myself, that I realized how involved he was in social activism. And then I did a little bit of history due diligence, and then you could see that Mr. Belafonte was right on the front lines of the movement to bring equal rights to everyone in America. So that's why I was asking. Gina, I'm listening.
We now refer to it as the mid 20th century civil rights movement.
The mid 20th century civil rights movement. Right. You heard it here, folks. Gina, I love you, babe. I can't wait to see you soon. Yeah?
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for including me on this. Hello to your family and your brother, Joey. Hello.
Hi, Gina.
And to all the other guests, please stay safe and please, keep the faith. Keep the faith.
We're going to do that. I love you, G. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Okay, take care. So let's go back to my brother, Dr. Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. One other thing I wanted to ask you was, how's cooking in lockdown? How is your diet? Has your diet changed? Are you cooking interesting things? You going and getting takeout? How is this looking for you?
Well, we've only done takeout. We did 2 sushi takeouts from our favorite place, and we did 1 Italian meal. Andrew got us for Amy's birthday a little Italian dinner, and we did curbside pickup in all these places. But we've been cooking lots of comfort food, a lot of Italian, classic dishes, lasagna, ravioli. We've been making our own homemade pizza dough. Amy's been making, great things like stews, and we've been baking like crazy. She made these killer corn muffins with blueberries in. We've been sort of improvising, and it's just great. Now we're not doing a lot of volume. We're doing high quality, not so much quantity. But we kind of overbought. We have a freezer full of food, and we're just getting to it little by little. But it's great. It's one of the things you look forward to.
Well, Joey, speaking of great Italian, I have a special great Italian who's going to be on. Your buddy, Dr. Frank Malderelli, is going to be on our show. Do we have Dr. Malderelli in the with us already? Is he there? Okay. Well, let's get Dr. Malderelli on the line. He's coming, yeah? Okay, Joe. How long have you known Dr. Malderelli?
Frankie!
There he is. Frankie, how you doing?
My brother, how are you?
Good. This is Dr. Frank Malderelli, and he is from the National Institute of Health.
Yeah.
He is the let me just get this right now. He is the head of the clinical retrovirology section of the National Institute of Health. Frank, how's it going, buddy?
It's going just fine, Jono. Thank you so much for having me. You're always an incredible guest host.
I'm very grateful that you're here. Because Dr. Malderelli was on the front lines of the fight to develop treatments for HIV. Is that right, Frank?
Well, I got to tell you, I work at the NIH, National Institutes of Health, in Bethesda, Maryland, and Frederick, and I'm not here as a government employee today. I'm just here as I hope an old friend.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're an old friend with the secret knowledge.
Yeah, right.
So
I was actually.
Yeah.
Jono, I was thinking about the last time I saw you.
When was that?
I don't know, but I remember something you told me, and Joe was there. You know what a great dresser I am. I'm here. I have a University of Maryland hoodie on because my daughter's an intern there.
All right.
And the hat is from New York Hospital because the other daughter gave me that.
Nice.
And if when they get out of all of this, they can help me dress again. But the last time I saw you, I had a pair of jeans on, and you looked at them, and you said, "Frank, where'd you get that belt? The 1970s?" And I can't. And so I found the belt, and here it is.
Yay!
And the thing that bothers me about that is how insightful you are, because yes, I did get that belt in the 1970s.
Frank, didn't we get all the great stuff in the 1970s? Actually, right?
I guess. I don't know.
All the great movies were from the 1970s. I mean, hey.
Oh, no, there's this one, Messing Around, that's from the 2000s, as I remember.
Oh yeah.
That's
that's
a great movie.
That's true. That was an HIV awareness film that I made with my friend Abdulghafur Anasi, who's also on the line, and we have and Dr. Frank was one of our supporters, as was Dr. Joe. So we thank you for that. I think we got about 3,000 hits on the internet for that movie. So maybe we saved a couple of lives with that film. We'll have to see.
I distributed some of the flyers at international meetings. There's probably something wrong with that, but I did it anyway.
So, Frank, I wanted to ask you a little bit about SARS-CoV-2. Is that all right with you?
Of course.
Okay. First of all, did you ever meet Dr. Fauci? Ask you a little bit about SARS-CoV-2. Is that all right with you?
Of course.
Okay. First of all, did you ever meet Dr. Fauci?
Oh, I think there was a bit of a delay there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
General.
no problem.
Okay, so Anthony Fauci is the head of the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. I think there was a bit of a delay there. I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem. I was in that institute for many years before I moved over to NCI. But in all of that time, he's a constant presence in the HIV field. So one of my jobs at NIH is to work on the inpatient HIV service. And so Dr. Fauci's, he's very different from all the other institute directors. He still comes on rounds every week that he's able to see the patients. So I see him routinely. I work with his group on a couple of projects, and we're in the same clinic at NIH. And so he's in, as I say, he's a constant presence, and I think a real inspiration. As much now, of course, but back then he was the person who could speak both the scientific field and to the patient groups, and bridging that was really a unique role. And for those reasons, long before COVID, long before anthrax, he was involved with that. Long before all of those things, I think he was a national treasure.
Well, Frank, you're Italian, right?
Yes, sir. And that's right. All of us are from the same part of the world as Dr. Fauci.
Well, I wanted to say you're Italian. My brother's Italian. I'm Italian. Dr. Fauci's Italian. Why is it that Italians are geniuses? That's all I wanted to know.
You got to ask your brother that one. He's smarter than I am.
I'm sure he has an answer for that. So what I wanted to ask you, Frank, is the coronavirus the kind of virus that you can create a vaccine for? I mean, you know, we have a vaccine for the flu, but there's no vaccine for HIV, both viruses. So it seems like some viruses you can make a vaccine out of, some maybe not. How is the coronavirus? Can we make a vaccine?
Right. So I think that's a terrific question. I think there are many people working on an HIV vaccine. I think it's harder because that virus infects immune cells, which would be the ones generating the immune response. I'm not sure if that's the perfect excuse for not having one yet, but I don't think it's a reason why we won't get one. Coronavirus does not seem to be infecting those cells, at least on that level. And so for that reason, I think we have a better chance. I think the surface protein of coronavirus is less variable. And so I think the vaccines that will be developed and tested, or being tested now, are likely to be maybe durable. No, but I think they have great possibility. You know, coronavirus, you know, it's time for the nerdy part of the show, right?
Yeah.
It has the largest genome of any RNA virus in the world.
Okay.
That class of viruses. And so to have such a big genome, it has one gene that does some editing functions of its genome. And so normally RNA viruses, they're very genetically diverse. coronavirus, less so. And so that lack of diversity may work in our favor.
Right.
On the other hand, there's a bunch of other coronaviruses, and it looks like you can get them a second or a third time.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure that a prior infection will have a durable response for reinfection. And
Okay. So it's a little bit
that's why
like,
I think
let's say, like a flu virus. You can get it 1 year, and you're not necessarily developing an immunity to it, and you can get it the next year as well.
Yeah, I think if we do get a good vaccine, then we may have to revaccinate after a period of time. But I think I'm very hopeful that something works out.
Awesome. Very good. Now, are you in home office now?
Yes. So I can, we don't have a lot of patients in the clinical center right now situation, but I can go down there, but I have not been because I don't want to be part of the problem.
Right. And are you able to do your crucial work from home?
Right.
Or
So
let's
that's
say, how much can you do at home?
Right.
Is a part of it possible?
Right, that's a terrific question. Basically what we've done is all of our patients who are in clinical studies at the NIH Clinical Center, they are not being seen at the clinical center for their routine protocol visits. Instead, we're delaying everybody. And if people have an acute problem, they will go to a local hospital for that. From the laboratory standpoint, the NIH has taken the position that only COVID-19 research should move forward. And so all of our HIV research in the laboratory has been on hold. But because COVID may affect immune suppressed individuals, we're very interested, as are many groups, in understanding what the effects of that virus are in HIV infected individuals, both in those on therapy and those who are not yet on therapy or not now on therapy. And so we're developing new studies to investigate that that patient group. So, there are about 1 million people in the United States with HIV infection, and considering that they are on the coast, many of them are in areas where there's a lot of SARS-CoV-2. I think it's very important to understand what the effects of this virus are in our patient group. So that research is moving forward. The research on basic HIV is for the moment on hold. And so the folks in my lab will be able to come in to do COVID HIV research, and we'll do that. We have approval for that. And the HIV stuff is going to be on hold for a little while.
Well, all I can say, Frank, is thank God we got people like you at the NIH keeping us safe, working on these things on the sidelines, not in front of the camera, not getting famous for their work, and but keeping us safe and moving society forward. So I personally want to thank you for all your hard work, and it's great seeing you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be with us. Could you just do me one favor? Can you put the hoodie on for a second? I want to see the gangster Frank. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right, Frank. Thank you so much, buddy. That was Dr. Frank Malderelli from the NIH.
Just know that there are very few people. I don't know any people in the world like you and your family. They were an amazing crowd, and so it's always been such a great honor to know you crazies.
Dude, we try our best. That's all I can say.
It looked effortless from my side. Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next guest. We've been here in Bethesda. Are you in Bethesda right now, Frank?
I'm in a place called Gaithersburg.
In where?
It's in between Bethesda and Frederick.
So is that Maryland?
Oh yeah.
All right, so now we're going to move from Maryland, folks, and we're going to move on to the East African city of Nairobi with our next guest, Abdulghafur Anasi, who is a television producer at Horitzon TV in Nairobi. Abdulghafur, welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother?
I'm very fine, thank you, and thank you very much for inviting me to this show.
Thank you for being with us. It's very special. So, how is your Ramadan going?
Thank you very much. Ramadan is a bit different this time. It is not a bit. It is very different because we are used to getting together, doing iftar together, the evening food together, but now it is just you and your family in the house. No more outside, no more going to the mosque. It is just me and my family in the house.
So that's strange for you not being able to go to the mosque, isn't it? Because I know you like to go to the mosque.
It is very, very strange because just behind me where I stay right now, there is a mosque, but I cannot access the mosque. I cannot go to the mosque just because of COVID-19.
But is someone in the mosque and calling to prayers?
Yes, the prayers are being called every time, but now we cannot go because of social distancing.
Okay, well,
But
at
the
least that's a
prayers are
comfort,
being
isn't
called.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And how is it looking in the central business district in Nairobi? Is everything shut down, locked down, ghost town?
In Nairobi now, things are kind of normal right now. Because some few weeks ago, the streets were empty. The CBD itself, it was very, very empty. No cars, no people. I think this happened when it was first announced some few cases, like 10 cases in Kenya. The streets were very empty. But now I think there's ignorance, maybe something like that, ignorance. So people are gone back to the streets. Though we were practicing some curfew, we were having curfew restrictions.
Okay.
From 6 p.m. From 7 p.m. in the evening to 5 in the morning. So
Okay.
right now things are back to normal. There is traffic jam. There are a lot of people in town. There is everything.
So they locked you in during Ramadan because around that time period when the curfew starts is the time when the fast is over, isn't it? So
Yeah.
So what's the specialty in Kenya after you break the fast? What food is like the thing you eat the first when you can eat again when the sun goes down?
When we break the fast, mostly we do dates. Mostly, that is the main one. We do dates, and then you can drink water, and then after there you can do the main meal. Maybe some chapati. You remember some chapatis?
I remember, yeah.
Some meat and some pilau. You remember pilau?
I remember pilau. How about some sukuma wiki? Do you have some sukuma wiki in there too?
Sukuma wiki, not many people do sukuma wiki during Ramadan. During Ramadan, people have this culture of eating those good foods, some meat, some rice, some
traditional
pilau,
foods.
some pizza. Yes.
Ugali, is
sukuma wiki
ugali part of it?
Yes, ugali is part of it, but not much. We eat ugali, but very minimal.
Very minimal. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So you work at a radio at a television station, Horitzon TV,
Yes.
and you're at work. You're going to work. You're in essential service. So how is it looking at work? How have things changed at work? Are you social distancing? Are some people staying home, or is everybody there?
Okay, at work it is very different right now. We are having shifts.
Okay.
We're having shifts of maybe this week, like for me, I go maybe twice or 3 times in a week. I used to go every day, including Saturday, but right now, we just to practice that social distancing, we have to go maybe 5 people this week, and next week maybe 3, another week maybe 5, 4, like that. But we are really, really practicing social distancing and sanitizing and doing everything that the government is telling us.
Well, not everyone knows it, but Kenyans are professionals at washing their hands. I remember every time before we ate a meal, people would say, Mr. Jonathan, go wash your hands. So, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually, it's not a new practice in Kenya. People in Kenya are very meticulous about cleaning, right?
It is not a new practice. Everyone washes their hands. Right now, before you enter any shop, any restaurant, there's something like a can of water outside with soap. You have to wash your hands first before you enter. Everywhere,
Perfect.
every shop, every supermarket.
Wow, that's great. So Kenyans are taking it seriously.
Yeah, it is very serious. It is very, very serious.
Yes.
Right now in Kenya, we are having 411 cases.
Okay.
And we are having 150 recovered cases, and we are having 21 deaths as for today's announcement by the cabinet minister.
So is the curve flattening a little bit?
Yeah, I can say it is flattening, but I think it has transferred from Nairobi. Now it looks like the epicenter is going to be Mombasa now.
Okay.
Because many cases now comes from Mombasa. Many cases comes from Mombasa, not Nairobi anymore.
Right. It's very difficult in Mombasa. It's a little bit even more concentrated than Nairobi, isn't it? And and it's also a hotspot, a tourist hotspot. Yeah. So.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. So how's the family doing? Everyone healthy and happy? Baby
Everyone
doing
healthy
well?
and happy. Everything okay. Alhamdulillah. I say Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
How is Germany?
Alhamdulillah. We're doing good here in Germany. We're doing wonderful.
Right.
You know what? It just occurred to me in Kenya, it's not only part of the culture to wash your hands, but it's also part of the culture to shake hands. Yeah. Now, how has that changed?
Absolutely.
Are people shaking hands?
Not anymore. Okay, maybe you might forget sometime you want to shake someone's hand, and that someone would not want to shake your hand. You might forget, but when someone reminds you, it's okay. Oh, it is because of COVID-19. But right now, it is very different. People are not shaking hands anymore. You just wave someone, hi, salam alaikum, and that's it.
Yeah.
Especially Muslims, we like shaking hands a lot.
Right.
So right now, there is no more shaking hands.
And do you think we'll ever come back to Nairobi again, or is it over now, the shaking of hands?
It will, maybe, but after a very long time, maybe.
Okay.
Not now. Yeah.
It's so fascinating, isn't it?
It is very fascinating.
And everyone is basically. I've had a few people. Are people able to buy food? Are they able to go out in the streets and get something to eat?
Right now, like I said, right now things are kind of going back to normal.
They're starting.
Everyone is going back to buy food to the supermarket, but the government said now it is illegal to walk around without a mask. So where I
here
stay
in
right
Germany
now,
too.
if you are found here where I stay now, I've seen people being arrested. When you're found not wearing a mask, you will be arrested. And there's a governor from Mombasa, Ali Hassan Joho. He's really doing a good thing. So he told the government or the police that when you arrest someone, don't take this person to jail. He gave the police masks. When you arrest this person who is not having a mask, give them masks.
Oh,
Because
that's
if you
good.
arrest them and they have, yes. So he gave the police masks. You arrest them, then you give them masks. So if you arrest them for the second time, they don't have a mask, that is a problem now.
Oh, okay.
people
So
are
the
wearing
first time
masks and,
you're forgiven and they give you what you need, and then if they catch you again, then you could have problems. Ah, yeah.
But
okay.
that is for Mombasa, not in Nairobi.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Abdulghafur Anasi from Horitzon TV and my buddy. We've done a lot of projects together. As you noticed, we talked to Dr. Malderelli. He was one of the producers of our film about HIV awareness, Kulala Ovyo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
So he really helped out with our artistic project. We're really thankful for that. And I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful for all the help you give. People, we don't. He doesn't expect me to say this, but Abdul and he helps me do a little bit of charity in Kenya, and he's a very charitable guy himself. We work together. We're a charity team, right?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes.
I thank you.
You are a very good guy.
Thank you, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right.
Just saying, you are doing a good job traveling all the way from Germany to come to Kenya just to help someone. That is a very good thing, and may God bless you.
Thank you, brother. God bless you too. Yeah? I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Thank you. So do we have our buddy David Garlitz on the line? We're going to go back to Magdeburg, Germany, Abdul, and talk to my friend David.
All right.
David Garlitz is a former Marine. He served 2 tours, I think, in Iraq, and now he lives in Germany. And he's one of my best buddies here in Magdeburg. He's one of the expatiest and knuckleheadiest expat knuckleheads that I know. David, you in the line? You there? Talk to me, buddy. I can't hear you. Turn on your mic. I don't hear a word from David. Hey, Abdul, can you hear David? Not yet, huh?
No, I cannot hear David.
David, turn on your microphone. Wave to me,
My
David.
mic, it's
You
muted.
there?
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, there he is.
I only
David, you're looking gorgeous.
I only have a.
Look at you, buddy. We got the same mustache now.
This is a Corona stash.
This is the Corona stash, exactly. Or I like to call it the Magnum
I have
PI.
not-
How you doing?
Good, man. Yeah, I have not. I haven't
Hello.
touched to rest my lips again.
You're frozen. Oh, there you go. Now you're back again. Excellent.
Oh, there.
Yeah. So, David, how's it going in the garden? Have you been planting?
Oh man. Oh, frozen. Sir.
What have you
Yeah,
got? What have you
we've
got in the
been,
ground already?
Kind of a funny story. Had some success with corn last year with sweet corn. So I went to the we call it the Pflanzenrichter, is where you go get your seeds and stuff. And I got a packet full of seeds. It said corn in German, and I planted it. Then I found out, oh, this is feed corn, like for cows and pigs and stuff like that. So, I did have sweet corn left over from last year, so we got 90 feed corn plants in the ground and 40 sweet corn.
Fantastic.
And
What are you
then,
going to do with all
in addition
that
to
feed corn? That's what I want to know.
That's a great question. Through the grapevine, so to speak, yeah. Met a lady who has horses.
Oh, good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to trade the feed corn for horse manure and hay.
Awesome.
And that's going to be the fertilizer.
Hey, that is perfect.
Yeah.
So you get the
So
horse
we're gonna
fertilizer,
sure.
and then she gets the corn to feed the horses. So basically, you're getting the fertilizer back.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting the corn back as fertilizer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when we're finally allowed to get back together,
Yeah, it's going
David,
to be the cycle of life, man.
it is the cycle of corn. Yeah. So, dude, when we get back together, I miss you like crazy. First of all, let me just say that you're my buddy in Magdeburg. So what are we going to barbecue when we get together? That's what I want to know. I mean, my project for 2020 was supposed to be brisket.
Well, first off, we're going to have so to give the audience a picture, we have a nice garden here in Germany. There's, we call these garden Verein, which is an association. And so we have about probably, if the association allows it, we're going to have at least probably 30, 40 people there. Yeah,
Oh.
we're going to grill everything.
Well, I want to be invited for sure. You got to have me there. Yeah, we
Everything on the grill.
need to take part. So, dude, you and me, one thing we have in common, we have a few things in common, throwing a baseball, but why are you, we're expats. Why are you an expat? What brought you to Germany? What brought you away from home? When I say home, I mean America.
Well, of course, I was in the Army, like you mentioned, and I was stationed here in the early 2000s, and really had no experience with Germany, but I decided it might be fun to learn language with it. That's how a lot of people do, yeah. And just developed a love for the language, and went back to America for a few years, and told myself if I ever had a chance to come back to Germany, that I'd probably stay. And I did get another chance to get stationed here in 2010. And that was cool because it was in Kaiserslautern, which is in southern Germany, Rhineland-Pfalz. And that's a really nice little town.
A
and,
big
had some
American
good
military
experiences.
town, too.
So when it came time to retire, yeah. So when it came time to retire, I went down to the city hall. We call it the rat house, but there's no rats that live there. I went to the city hall in uniform because it was my lunch break. Yeah. And I told the lady in German, I said, I would like to register, which means you're going to register yourself as where you live in Germany. And she looked at my uniform and she looked at me and she's like, I think you're in the wrong place. You know, I could understand her confusion, yeah. But I was dead serious, and she gave me the paper, and I signed it. And that was a big turning point. That was about 6 months before I retired. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a transition. There were some things to do, but I'd say all in all, it's not much different than when you leave and you stay in America. I mean, you just get out, you get a job, you find some friends, you find things to do.
Well, David, you're also like an important person
like
now
that.
in
It's a
Magdeburg.
different
You have a
twist.
lot of friends here. You're kind of like the boss among all of our friends. You know. So, what is it that you love the most about living in Germany? What turns you on about Germany? What are the qualities you like about it?
Well, I don't want to compare it with America because that's not fair. It's foreign, you know. But I would say there's where we live in Magdeburg. It's very green. There's a lot of trees. Every street has trees. They don't follow this policy of tear the trees down and name the streets after it.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Oak Street,
Right.
Elm
They don't
Street.
call
Oh,
it
that's what
Sycamore
that used to
Avenue.
be.
They have a sycamore tree on
Yeah.
that street. Yeah, that's true. I think that's
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
described it best. Perfect. So,
Yeah.
so David,
I think part of the deal is
I'm listening.
oh, sorry, a little bit of yeah. No, I think part of the deal is for Americans is the history, because you know we have a history about 250 years, depending on what you used to say.
Right.
But I mean, when I go out to the main street down here, I look at the end of the street, and there's the Magdeburg Cathedral is started construction 800 years ago.
Right.
So when you see things like that, just to give
Yeah.
a different perspective, very
We've got a really bad connection, David, but I hear what you're saying. When I went to Virginia, I went and visited a buddy of mine, and he said, I have to show you the oldest street in the country. It's called the Hessian Road. And then he showed me the Hessian Road, and I was like, it looks like my street in Germany. You know? It was like, you know, like a cobblestone street. So, yeah, it's true. That's like things that are considered really old in America are just kind of normal here. So, David, I want to thank you for being with us. We have, unfortunately, a little bit of a bad connection right now. So, I don't know exactly how much you heard of me, but I hope everything is fine. I wanted to say I appreciate you being there. You're my buddy. David, you left. He's gone. Oh, there we go. David. Oh, no, he's back again. All right. So, David, thanks for being on the show. We're going to be doing this again. We're going to be sitting at the table with me next time. So, hopefully, as soon as the isolation's over. So, keep healthy, and I'll talk to you soon, yeah? And we're just going to have to get together sometime soon. All right, buddy. Take care. So, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take
care, you too. Peace.
Peace, bro. That was our show, folks. That was Expat Knuckleheads. You heard from a couple of expat. You heard from a couple of knuckleheads and some expat knuckleheads in general. So I want to thank you for being here with the show. We're going to end with our we have our little our jingle song to end the show. We're going to end it with the jingle. And I'm going to just go like this, like I'm dancing. Even if there's no music. All right. We don't know where the hell the logo is. It don't matter. I hope you guys had fun. That was our show. I got a burp, so I'm going to sign off now. This is Jonathan Failla, your expat knucklehead. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wear your mask when you're out there. Bring your disinfectant with you, and don't forget the rubber gloves. Right? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Here's Jonathan Failla signing off.